All right, hello there. Greetings and salutations. We have another product installation and review video today. Today, we are replacing the stock headlight on a 2014 Harley Davidson Road King Alchemy with an LED light. The goal is to have a brighter light. So let's get to it on today's Graybeard Biker. All right, so I had a company send this to me. This is, the company sells on Amazon. This is the headlight for replacing the stock headlight with an LED light. Lots of different companies make these. A lot of people change from the traditional lights to LED because the LED lights are brighter. Lots of different companies. This one is from Amazon. It is not near as expensive as some of the other ones, but let's see how it does, right? How hard is it to install, and how does it hold up once we do it, and what does it look like? So let's go ahead and open it up, and we'll see what we see. This is made by the company Light, and it is a 7-inch headlight. This over there. It's just an LED light. The idea, again, is that it's going to be brighter. So now, when you look on here, it has this connector, and then it couples with this connector here in order to tag into your existing light. The issue that you have is this has high beam and low beam. This is one connector. On the 2014 Harley Davidson touring models, the Road King specifically, you have two different wires, one for high beam and one for low beam. So I had to get a different wiring harness that was a split cable so that it could go to each one. So I will put links to both this light and that connector on the screen here. I'll put it right here. So that way, if you want to get the same thing that I have here, you will not only know how to do it, but you'll know where to get it from. So as part of this, I am putting back together the trim ring that came off when I was in Louisiana. And I got all of the parts that were no longer around, which includes the gasket and then the little clips that go in here. And of course, if you remember watching that episode, if you don't, I will put it right here. The dealership did give me the screw. So here's the screw. Not in a Harley bag, just random screw. Good job, guys. Anyway, so I am going to place all of this back in here and see what we get. Now, being as this was already kind of taken apart before I got it, well, I didn't take it apart, I guess is my point. I'm going to have to try to figure out how it goes together. Okay, so let's see, part numbers here. The clip is part number 67780-60, and the gasket is 67716-60C. The clips plus the two clips, because there was already one still in it, and the gasket were $25. Now I'm not sure how this goes in here, so I'm just going to guess. It's got a lip in it, and instead of putting it up, I'm going to put it down. And let me see if maybe that's not correct. It looks like it fits that way. Being as I cannot look, we'll see when we get out there, I guess. All right, so let's put these clips back in here if we can. Now these are supposed to just make pressure. I don't know. I do not feel confident because I have no poop sheet. See, if I do that, then that clip just slips right out. If I put it in there like that, it's not really holding anything. These clips, of course, do not look like the other clips. So here's to hoping they'll do the same thing. So it does not appear to be the correct clips. You son of a...
Radio edit.
So let's get out there to the garage and see how it goes. So if you'll remember, if you watched our Gulfport rally series, we ran into an issue. We got caught in rain, and then we had to go across this bumpy gravel road, driveway, parking lot sort of thing. And the trim ring to the headlight up here came off. And so, because that's not necessary for operation, we rode around the rest of the time with it off because I had lost the screw to put it on. Well, I got the screw from the dealership, but the gasket was gone, and the visor that was on here was run over. And so I'm now have to replace that. So I decided, well, while I'm doing that, I might as well put in these new lights that I got. So yesterday I put in the auxiliary lights that are LED. I had to take the visors off these two because this visor is broken. And having this one gone and these two have thought would look weird. So now they're all just uniform. They're all going to be gone for the time being. So today we are putting in an LED light to replace the traditional light up here. So we'll start by, of course, taking the screws out to remove this one. And I'll tell you, the part that concerns me about today isn't really the light. It's putting that ring back on because I remember it being a hassle. So we'll see. All right, so first things first, there are screws that you have to take off. Now, they're adjustment screws. This one, and there's one over here. Should be one up and down as well. Up here. That's for tilting the light. We don't want to mess with those. We're just taking this ring off. So there's a screw here and here. And is there one on the other side? Yes, there. It's the smaller of the screws that we're dealing with today, not the big ones that adjust the beam. Should come out easily. There we go. All right, tons of room in here. And then we have the high beam and the low beam. So let's pay attention to what's what. High beam here. Boy, that's tight. I don't know if you can see it. All right, I'm going to try to show you with this light here. All right, so in here, lots and lots of room, but these are very, very tight. And there's an extra one. That's weird. Wonder what that's for. If anybody knows what that's for, let me know. Because obviously low, high. What is this? If I can get a close up of that. All right, so I tried to show you guys earlier. Actually, we'll get to that. Let's take this one off. All right, so there's these two right here. This is a little side piece, and there's one on the other side. You just basically have to hold both of those, and then it'll come right out. Now, if you are looking to convert your bike to LED, you could just take out these bulbs, which you would come in here, and then this just twists, and you could replace that with an LED bulb. But that's not what I'm doing today. I'm replacing the whole thing. All right, so let's swap it out with this one. Now, as I mentioned before, this light came with this accessory cable, which is the wrong one. So that we don't need. I had to get this separately. And what it does, get it undone here, it has two, a high beam and a low beam, and then it connects to the high and low beam switches there. I guess on newer bikes, they don't have a separate bulb connector, but this one does. So according to the adapter here, blue is the low beam, red is the high beam. This yellow is for daytime running lights, which I don't, if I had the halo, that would be there. I don't have that. So that one will be absolutely left alone. So let's go ahead and put this puppy in here.
Connected. Connected.
High beam's working, low beam is not. Well, that's not good. All right, so it appears that these are backwards. Chinese shit.
Radio edit.
What are you doing? Shit. What the fuck is this? What are you doing? Oh, that's the bomb.
Connected.
All right. Is that bright? It's really hard to tell. All right. Are they different at all? All right, I can't look at it because it's so bright. So this should be low beam, high beam. They look the exact same to me. All right, so far my review of this is that it sucks. All right, so here's the problem with this problem. Right now, we've got high beam
Connected.
and low beam not changing anything at all. Exact same. So the problem is there's two different elements here. There's the light, and then there's the Y cable. Which one's bad? I don't know. So I guess what I'm going to do is return them both and get replacements and see what's what. I think what I'm going to do is return the cable first because that's the smallest element. See if that fixes it when I swap that out. And if it doesn't, then I'll try to exchange the light. And if that doesn't work, then it's just garbage. So let's do that and see if we can't get this thing going. All right, while we're waiting on that, let's see if I can get this thing together. On. Light is going to be shite. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys this because nobody ever talks about it. All right, let's show you. If we look here, all right, you see this clip right here. This goes opposite. This clip here goes opposite of the hole. So the hole is at the bottom, that clip is up here. And the reason why is because up here on the headlight, there's a little notch. And this clip, the part that's bent down, this clip, the part that's bent down here, goes behind that notch. Nobody tells you that. That's very important. That's what kind of keeps it all together. Now, this gasket here, it's kind of, it's ribbed, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I put it in where the indented part, the ribbed part, if you will, sits in, and that kind of holds it in here. See, like this. And then this will go up here. I put the top in first, and then I just push the bottom. Oops, see, that came out. Let's do it again. And just push in place. There we go. And then, of course, we put the screw in the bottom here. And try to make sure this is lined up, because right now it's not. I can't see in that hole. It's very hard if you don't have small hands. Yeah, I can't even see it. Maybe. So that is what it looks like on. except for this problem. So I got to take it back off to work on this, but I'm going to wait till that new replacement piece comes in. Until then, this is all buttoned up, but I can't really write it because the high beams are stuck on. I could swap out, swap the bulb back, but I'm hoping that other piece comes back in the next day or two. So I'm just going to wait and we'll see what happens. All right, while I am waiting on that replacement connector to come, I've decided to test some things with a voltmeter. So the first thing that I did was leave all of this plugged up, and I tested this end of the plug. And what I found out is, you could see which one's ground. It's black over here. So you put the ground here, and then one should be high beam and the other connector should be low beam. So on this one, the red is high, so it's the one that's on the right side, and the bottom should be low beam. Well, when I do my volt test with it on in high position or low position, I get 0 to the low beam and I get over 12 to the high beam, no matter what position the switch is in. So that tells me that something is wrong between here and the bike. So then I unplug it and I test the connectors that are coming from the bike. Now, is that necessary? No, because I already know they work, because they worked with the original bulb. But I tested them anyway, and yes, indeed, they do work. The low beam one shows power when it's in low, and the high beam one only shows power when it's in high. So those connectors are fine, which means that this little adapter is shite. So this is what I have a replacement coming. I know that things happen from time to time with manufacturers, and so I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt that they had one that was faulty and they're sending me another one. If it works, great. If it doesn't work, bad reviews. So that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
All right, so I had them send me a new headlight because the other one would not turn on. We're going to see if this one does, and if it doesn't, I'll tell you why.
Connected.
No change. So I plugged this one in, and there's no change. And the reason why, through my table test, is that this is not wired correctly for the US market. Because this, likely made in China, and their patterns over there are different. Which means that I have to rewire this in order to get it to work. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get the voltmeter out, make sure I know what goes where, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so what I'm going to do, this extension here came with the light. So I'm going to cut it because I can see what the wires are, and then figure out which one goes where. All right. Now that's done. Now, I know that black is going to be ground. I don't know which ones of these is what, so let's just try a bunch of them. I think I will try some.
I think I would buy some.
All right, we're going to try to document where we're at here. All right, so the top I have being the blue wire. The left, if you're facing it, is red, and the one on the right is black. And that results in nothing. Okay? So let's start by swapping the black and the red. So now I swap the black and the red. And what do we have here? All right, so this is the same. This is, oh goodness. This is both lights on. And the switch does nothing. All right. So let's move the ground and the blue. Oh, the ground must be correct. All right, so I'm putting the red in the middle, which gives me low. And then the blue is now on the right, and that gives me high and low. All right, so the correct answer to this puzzle is that the blue here goes on the right, the red goes in the center on the top, and then the ground is on the left if you're looking at the plug, right? So, all right, so negative is the left post, and then there's, I guess there's two positive, but all right. All right, so we're back in here at the table, and I have decided I'm not even going to solder these because they're spade connections. So what I'm going to do is use spades, and then it should connect just fine. All right, and then as we remember, the red came out of the top, so that would go here. Ground, of course, goes to the ground. And then blue goes to the right. All right, so then what I'm going to do, this has a nice shield, this does not, so I'm just going to tape up the ends. Put some electric tape around them to both strengthen them and provide a little more insulation, a little more watertight integrity. While I'm going through doing this, I want to take a moment and thank our latest Patreon supporters. We got a couple more recently, and so I want to put the new people, I'll put them in the little ticker here below. Give you a big thanks very much for supporting the channel. We appreciate it. It's people like you that become members of Patreon or members of YouTube. You can do that as well. Or you give one of those, I think YouTube calls them super thanks. When you guys do that, it helps keep us on the road to more rallies and producing more good content for you guys. So we appreciate it. I do have a new sponsorship in the world. Just give a little teaser. It's not cemented yet, but that's going to help as well. We got a big trip coming up to Sturgis this year. We're gonna be up there an entire week. So, alrighty, enough about that. So now we've got all these put together. Let's go get the thing on the bike. And now we got our newly wired together connectors here. So let's put it all back the way it goes. Make sure when you do this that see how this side is blue goes to this side is blue, so the negative stays in the right place. And then we've got our retainer ring. All right, I dropped a screw, so I had to raise it up so I could see. Where did it go? That didn't happen at all. All right, this is me coming back from Home Depot because I literally dropped two of the screws and can't find them. Now you may ask yourself,
And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
did you go to Harley? No, I went to Home Depot. It's a screw. To be specific, it is an number 8 32 by 1/4 inch screw. Now, let's see if I can put them on here without dropping them. Again, if you need to find them, they are this big. But I will give you the Harley number. It's right here. In case you want to pay that much. Alrighty. Screw number 2. Here's what they are. Here's what they are if you get them through the Home Depot. Now, don't drop it. Now, I am under no illusion. I am definitely going to have to adjust the angle and the, how everything is here as far as the, where the light is going to shine. But I don't know where that is yet till I get done with it. So. All right, so next thing is to put this back on. All right, so what I was saying earlier, this here, let me put it in front of the camera. This clip is a W. This one is not. Well, not really. So, trying to figure out, because it says it goes on the bottom, but unless I bend it a lot, it's not going on here. I did just bend it. We'll see if that does anything. All right, so remember I said we put the gasket in here with the groove down. Then this up here is a little notch sort of protrusion, and that's where this goes. No, that's a piece of shit.
Radio edit.
Right there. No way. No, that's got to come out. I don't know what this. If you know what this bottom one, how it goes, take a picture. Let me know. I'm removing it because damn. And then again, we try to screw it back in there. All right. So now it's on there. Let's see what we got. High beam, low beam. Just turn our auxiliaries on. High beam, low beam. High beam, low beam. Unless, of course, it's upside down. That's flashing. High beam, low beam. All right, and then the last piece to this is take this excess here and draw it up out of the way. And commence to zip tang. Well, that took forever. All right, so now what we're gonna do, throw the seat back on and then take it for a spin and then come right back, let you know what we think. So the best thing for me to do is to show you some side-by-sides.
Side by side, by side, by side.
So let's do that. Okay, here's the side-by-side. You can tell they are brighter than the stock bulbs. Aim is somewhat different. Maybe we need a few more adjustments to ensure which one is correct, but the brightness is obvious. So are the benefits of having auxiliary lights. But all doesn't go as it seems. Let's back up to look at when I took it off the lift and went out for its initial test ride and then returned.
Connected.
The radio's pretty bad. All right, that's strange. So what's happening right now is the brake light is on with the bike is off. And the second I turn the bike on, the brake light goes off. The running light. If I push the brake, it still happens, but the running light itself goes out. Yeah, and my my new USB stopped working. Was working before, it stopped working. This is, you know, guess we'll figure it out tomorrow. On that drive, I noticed lots of things. Gremlins.
Gremlins.
First, I had two red air lights. One round red dot near the speedometer needle and a red headlight icon near the ignition switch. After I started the bike, I noticed that my new USB port turned off and my rear taillight was off. Not the brake light, just the idle light. And there was extreme swarming noise over the amplifier and the speakers. Sounded a lot like interference. And the headlights were misaimed to the point that I couldn't adjust them anymore. So, not good. And I came back upset. Hence, it not being on camera. So now, let's catch up with the next day. All right, so still trying to track down the issues that we're having with the bike. And it seems to all go back, seems to because I don't know for sure, to the LED light in a Harley Davidson. So putting the LED light in there freaks the ECM out, evidently. And so the solution to that is to get a load resistor that goes between the headlight and the bike to trick the bike into thinking it still has the normal halogen bulb in it, so that the ECM won't freak out anymore about it taking less power, because an LED bulb draws less power. So hopefully that will fix all the ails with the bike. The other thing is I'm getting an awful lot of static coming from the amplifier. So I got a ground loop isolator, which is supposed to fix that. So let's put it all on and see what we see. So I'm also having an issue with adjusting the lights, because it's shooting high, and the more I adjust it out to shoot down, I'm running out of screw. So I don't really know what to do about that yet. One of the things they said is maybe it's not seated in here properly, but it seems to me it is. So we'll see what we see. But first off, I have to take everything back out, because I have to put the resistor in. So while I'm in here, I'm also going to check all of my cables, which should theoretically all be fine, but you know, never can hurt to check. Oh, something else I was looking at doing was changing it to where the passing lights, auxiliary lights, stay on no matter if it's on high beam or low beam. There used to be a device you could buy from, I think it was Custom Dynamics, but I was told that they don't make one for 2014 and up, because now the dealer can just flash the system. But that would take you going to the dealer, which I'm not going to do. So I guess we'll just deal with that. Be hard to check all my connections when they're all hidden. But it all looks good. No deteriorating wires. So, something else to stuff in here. All right, let's put all this radio edit back up in here. I guess before we put it all batten down all the hatches, let's see what we got.
Connected.
Everything seems to be working. All right, let's try starting it. That you hear, that's the cool flow fan. Let's see what this does. So it looks like maybe that did it. There's no errors on the center part of the console thing anymore. The two red lights that were there are gone. I don't even hear the static from the speaker. I'm going to put this on there anyway. From the amplifier. Last night, the back tail light was turning off whenever I turned the bike on, and this new USB port was turning off as well. Now, my understanding is that comes from the ECM kind of freaking out because things aren't reading right, so it starts shutting things down. But this load resistor seems to have done it. I'll put the link to it right here, but I'll know for sure when I take her back out tonight. So that's when we'll see what we see. Let's put her back together. All right, so one of the reasons that I didn't end up editing video for me doing all of the copper on Alchemy is because it was very frustrating. One thing led to another. Murphy kept, butting his head in. It was very, very frustrating. And this project is turning to be the same thing. I got everything working. Matter of fact, they send me, this is the load resistor. They sent me 2 of them because they come for cars. So if any of you have an LED, want an LED to make the change in your bike, I'm going to give this one away because motorcycles only need one. But this fixed all of my crazy issues with the warning lights going off and the things shutting down and all of that. This fixed it. So we're going to have a contest for it. If you would like to get it, you can put, what are we going to put in the, all you have to do is put the year and make of put the year and model of your bike in the comments below, and then we will pick a winner at random, and I'll send this puppy out to you. Now, the thing that's happened now, yes, that fixed everything. I put everything back together. It was all great. Then I noticed that this is shaking. And that's not okay. So the issue that we run into is that this bike is 2014. Makes it 11 years old. And inside, if once you go in, I had to take this ring off and go back and forth with this headlight multiple times. And I guess the more I did it, the more obvious these well nuts wearing out became. And so now at this point, I think 3 of them are still holding on and the other ones are not. And so I don't want to risk it falling off again while I'm going down the road. So I've ordered some new ones. I'm going to make that a separate video because a lot of people will have this issue by itself. So I'm going to make it a separate video. Eventually, I will put it right here. It won't be there until I make it, but it'll be right there. And that way you can see that and how that works and what it is that I'm talking about. But basically, there's all these little nuts around that this ring falls into. And so I'm replacing it. I'm also going to replace the ring itself. They make one that's specific for LEDs, which is supposed to fit better. I don't know if it will or not. We'll find out when I do it. But what I really need are those little well nuts. The other reason why I got the new ring is because this one, when I adjust it, I run out of screw. So I got a new ring just to see if that helps. So that's what we're going to be doing there. But it fixed my issues. So I'm going to wait until I get that put back together, and then I will take her out for one final test drive so I can get you footage for that and prove that everything is working correctly. And then we'll end this lengthy video. Thanks for hanging in there, guys. We'll see you in a minute. And that brings us up to the test that you saw in the side-by-sides. All is working now, ready for Sturgis. So here are my thoughts. If you want to go the less expensive route using Amazon and let's face it, probably China, there is going to be some additional labor and some things that you're going to need to know, which I've shared with you in this episode. But it is still going to be less expensive than buying from the dealership or having it installed at the dealership, or even buying some of the more expensive aftermarket LED lamps. But in the end, if you have more time and patience than money, this works. So there it is.
Well, there it is.
Don't forget about the contest that we're doing. If you are going to go the LED route, swapping over from your stock light to LED, you're probably going to need one of these. And this is the load resistor, and I am giving this one away to one of you guys. All you have to do to be considered for winning it is to, in the comments, put the year and model of your bike. From that, we will pick a winner and send it out to one of you guys. Now, I hope you got something out of this video. It's a long one. Thank you, Murphy. But now we are ready to go to Sturgis, and we hope to see you up there. Until then, stay free. Keep it shiny side up.